Yeah, baby. Yeah. The Mac is back with another video. Hello, the initiated. My name is Marcus Junikala, and today is a big day because we have one of the returning champions coming back for more. It's the 0G Ethera lineup that is returning, and today is the turn for Atlantis 3. So, vocal sample library, one of my all-time favorites when it comes to vocal sample libraries, is specifically, solo vocals. Although they do have so much more stuff in these libraries. It's kind of bonkers. But yeah, definitely for the solo vocal stuff, especially the legato, Ethera tends to be really at the top of that. So yeah, very, very excited about this because a huge fan and they sound fantastic. So apparently the deal with Atlantis 3 is that it takes the content from the Atlantis, the previous ones, the 1 and 2, takes that, they've improved upon that, and then you have more stuff here. So it's kind of like a iterative upgrade thing. But yeah, so you've got the old stuff, which is improved, and then the new stuff. That's at least my understanding of this. This library was sent to me by Stefano. So Stefano Maccarelli, that's my horrible Italian pronunciation. He's the person who produced this library, and I think he's produced the ones before as well. He did send me this copy, so first of all, thank you for doing that. And also, for the sake of transparency, I'm not being paid to make this video. It's just I get the copy and then I do my thing. And as always, I'm not being asked to say anything one way or the other. They simply send me the copy, and I do my thing. So all opinions, both in positive and perhaps criticism, are my own. Again, I'm not being asked to say anything one way or the other, nor would I ever do that. So, the plan for today is to just go through as much of the content as much as we can. There's a lot of stuff in here. I think it looked like there was even more than before. So, and I think my Atlantis 2 demo was already pretty hefty. So, we're gonna have to try and condense it down a bit more, but that being said, I'll try and showcase as much as possible. In terms of what you'll be hearing, it's Atlantis 3 in action, nothing added, no effects, nothing. I only have a limiter on the master bus to make the level decent for this video. That being said, you might hear some clipping every once in a while. That's because a lot of these vocal libraries have, vocals period have very, they have these resonant buildups in certain areas, and those buildups can really overwhelm and blow the limiter. So I will be having to adjust the limiter on the go as we move along. If you see me do something with the mouse here, that's probably what I'm doing. So if you hear clipping, it's not the library, it's the limiter. If it is the library, I'll let you know, and I'll probably let you know either way anyway. One of the things that I've noticed in one of my previous demos, unfortunately, the Contact 7 interface does not update properly when it comes to jiving together with my recording software. It seems to be working every once in a while and then not. I don't know what's causing it. So if you don't see anything happening in the Contact interface, that's due to that mistake. I think I have figured out what doesn't make it glitch that way, but I'm not sure. So if that is the case, I do apologize. Obviously, primarily we're here to listen to what's happening. So, but in any case, if it doesn't update, I apologize, and I'm still working on it, trying to figure out why it is. Not sure what's causing it, but I did want to mention that anyway. So, anything else I want to touch on? I don't think so. So maybe if we briefly look at this setup here, I will have to cover my pretty face every once in a while. I know I'm supposed to make this experience as pleasant as possible, but I can't unfortunately have my pretty face here at all given times. So this is really the folder structure here. So we're in Atlantis 3 folder, and the one we have loaded up here is the Romantic True Legato, which I think is what was in Atlantis before. So you got Romantic True, True Legato, then you got Sustains, Phonemes, vocal phrases, reverse vocal phrases, just syllables, Elven True Legato, Elven vocal phrases, Elven Sustains, Valhalla True Legato. So yeah, I mean, already the scope is pretty big for the for the library, but we're not even halfway through. Polyphonic Chants, Builder, Keyswitch stuff. Then you got, yeah, so basically in 2 different tempos, Whispers, Atena Sustain Sync, Atena vocal phrases, dark vocal phrases, Ethereal Pad, there we go, dark reverse phrase, heroic true legato. I think maybe that one was in there. I'm not sure, that could be new. I think fantasy true legato is new. Firenze certainly is new. Dark Siren true legato, Roma true legato, I think that's new. Venezia, I don't actually know how you pronounce that in Italy's, but okay, syllables, true legato, Valkyrie vocal phrases, Aurora vocal phrases, hybrid vocals, ethnic color vocals, syllables poly, Elven Polyphonic Chants, yeah, there you go. So a lot of stuff to go through. We're probably gonna, so the stuff I checked out last time in Atlantis 2 is probably gonna go less hard on those. We're definitely gonna check out a bit of everything, but yeah, I mean, in terms of what they did in terms of changes, wasn't super specific in terms of what I saw. There's probably a change log somewhere, but yeah, and you know, as I tend to prefer, this is a blind demo. I haven't played any of this yet, so what you'll see, what you'll hear is my authentic response. Cool. Now let's finally get into playing. I'm actually super excited about this. So again, I will have to adjust the limiter as we go along, but so bear with me as I sort that out. But this one is Atlantis Romantic True Legato. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'm kind of watching the limiter here, so I'll pull it back a bit before we get into super loud stuff. Because usually the top end tends to have louder or more intense resonant build-ups in certain frequencies, so those are the ones that usually get the limiter. Just like that. So, okay, so 4 dB, let's try and find a good place for this. Yeah, that happens. Again, that was the limiter. I'm gonna have to pull down the gain all the way on this to demonstrate this top end. is super high. That's very commendable that it has that much energy and a nice bit of texture there. Yeah, I mean, in typical fashion, this sounds just fantastic. Like, yeah, what can I really say? So this one seems to have just one vowel or whatever this is using. Yeah, as far as I can tell, you can just select that. But let me play with this a bit more now that we have an all-encompassing level. It's going to be a lot quieter here in the low end, but it is what it is here. So there you can hear some of the transitions don't do the legato. That is due to me not understanding how that works. Stefano explained it to me after the last demo I did. It has, I think, something to do with the velocity layers here. So you can, control, make sure that it does the legato. So that's not like the library can do the fully realistic thing all the time. You just need to know what you're doing with it. And I haven't revised my information on how to do that. But as you can hear, I can play that same transition. You can hear the legato there, so you can control it. Yeah, so I mean, super great stuff. Like in a very positive way. I'm not like it sounds stellar. I'm not surprised at all, which is fantastic because the bar has been so high before. But again, it's very nice. Would actually be interesting to do like a ABC between the different Atlantis versions. But I mean, in terms of if there's since there has been iterative improvement between the versions. But yeah, super solid, romantic. Let's do true legato. I think this in more cases is I think what I've been using more. Let's see if that's a true statement. That's super beautiful. I think this plays like even better and more smoothly than before. Not that it didn't before, but I did bump into like those transition things. So I don't know if they, like in the previous versions, so not sure if they've addressed something there, but there's something about it. It sounds a bit even more realistic and smooth. And that's saying a lot because before it was already fantastic. So I don't know, like it could be the sampling, could be something else, the whatever they've done there, but this is super nice. Yeah, it's definitely this with this preset or this patch, definitely even more realistic. Like before, it was already really good, but that's very nice. The bit of clipping you just heard, that was the limiter. So yeah, so in this one we do get a few different options. We've got epic ah, oo, soft ah, epic e, and epic phonemes. I'm sorry for that. Let's do oo. Yeah, I'd say definitely plays even better than before, because with a lot of vocal libraries, you have to be a bit like careful and mindful with the velocities and the transitions, because they affect the samples that are being triggered and the conditions that are happening or being triggered. But this, I feel like, it feels like there's less of that, and this is like, it feels like they've squeezed out maybe how much? Let's get this percentage right. 15% more realism and playability. That's the official number. Yeah, super cool. I just love how they include the different vowels, because even within a single vocal part, sometimes you want to adjust them. You don't want to do all ahs necessarily, or in most cases I wouldn't say you want to do just one vowel. You want to mix them up so that they fit every part nicely, and that's, I suppose, why I have the key switches here, to make it simpler and faster. This one is epic soft ah. Super cool. Yeah, I mean, Clara's voice is just it's just something very special, very beautiful, very powerful, very emotional. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, this one is epic E. Ooh, that was good. That slight, what's it called? There's a term. Decorative? No. I'm not finding the word. Actually, the technical term for that, bit of, I'm really blanking on that one. Somebody can tell me in the comments. Yeah, beautiful, just transitioning from note to another, and then there's a bit of that decorative touch there without actually having to play it in. Because sometimes I've done, like with Ethera, I think 2.0, I did some of that sort of manually, and then looked for ways to kind of hack the library to deliver on some of that. But it's beautiful to actually have that baked in and done here. Obviously, if you don't want that, then it's not great. But I think it might be, again, might have, like, there could be a different conditions going from certain velocity layers to another where it doesn't do the decorative stuff. But I don't know, maybe Stefano can let people know. I mean, what can I say? It's beautiful. Epic Phonemes. So I'm just testing around how the velocity affects that, but I can't seem to find anything on that. But yeah, I mean, it seems like, since I can't open up like a phoneme builder here or something, it probably has some kind of preset conditions that it's following. That distortion is coming from either the sample or the engine, because that's not the limiter. So there's a bit of sounds like a bit of clipping or saturation there. It could be either one. Yeah, very nice. I think it must have some kind of predetermined conditions. I can't see a way to control that. So, because the key switches here change the mode here. So ahs, oohs, e's, and then yeah. So probably yeah, some kind of predetermined stuff there. Okay, very cool. Going to Atlantis Sustains. Probably going to try and be fast with this one. I got to say that these images are absolutely beautiful and stunning. Not just talking about the people in there. Not that I would notice, because I'm a taken man, so I don't basically see these. Like, I just see the background basically here in the images. But yeah, I mean the colors, the balance of everything here visually is just stunning. And you know, some people scoff at that, like, why does it matter? Personally, I think it matters a lot. I like to work with tools that look really nice and good and inspiring, and you know, these are very beautifully done, these images here. So let's check out the sustains. Because we've got some kind of a cyclical thing going here. Let me see how what the yellow zone does. As far as I can tell, it does nothing. No, we do have some droney stuff here. This area doesn't seem to have anything, although it's colored. But then you have these different cycles going here. Let's see what the... Okay, so the red zone is kind of like a key switch. Changes the phrase, I guess. Black keys don't do anything here. Okay, let's bump up the volume here. try and get a more decent level. Okay, yeah, that's super nice. That's so beautiful. I mean, if I made this demo as long as I'd want to be playing these things out, it would be a day long, because the soundscape is so beautiful, texture is beautiful, everything is so nice. And again, like, this isn't like hyper realistic in terms of the transitions, etc. That being said, the way they sampled the phrases, they really start and stop very nicely. And I actually love the slightly kind of synthetic, chopped up quality here, which is there depending on the phrase that you're choosing here, or it isn't. But actually like it. It's a very beautiful artistic tool there. So let me try. I'll look for like a initial favorite phrase here, and then I'll play a bit more. Because the one I played previously, that was more like a vowel based one. So let's pick this one and play with it. I remember some of this content from before. This one, certainly. So let's take this one and play that. Yeah, beautiful. Just like a puffy, rich texture. I love the textures they do for these. And I love the fact that these presets or these patches have, like, they go for a specific style. They're not trying to be everything and anything, because that often, especially with vocal libraries, ends up being like a nothing kind of a library. Like they're trying to do too many things. Like, these select one style and go hard for that. And I'd much prefer to have that control in terms of having it in different different presets and different patches. So yeah, I mean, very beautiful. I have to literally fight the urge to not play more of these, more of that, because I could just lull myself into that that place. All right, so Phonemes Builder. I remember that this was very much something I liked. And again, look at that artwork. That's beautiful contrast between the colors, and the shades are pretty much perfect. That's super, super nice. Yeah, I remember liking this, but that it took me some while to figure this out. So let's play around, get our bearings first. I don't know what that noise was. It wasn't the limiter. I don't think it was anything on the DAW end. I do remember that in the previous Atlantis we had that same rattle noise issue with maybe, it wasn't common, but we did encounter it somewhere. I think, is that same thing going on? It sounds like a chip is just blowing the heck out, but it shouldn't be my system as far as I can tell. Okay, let's I gotta check out what these things do down here. Let me just check. Okay, so seems like they're doing something. I guess going into the phrase builder thing here helps a lot. All right, so I gotta say, I mean, I remember that it took me a while to understand this here, but okay. But once I did get it, it was easy enough. So this key here jumps forward in this builder thing. I think this one must be resetting it, and this one I'm not sure. Let's see. I wonder if it jumps to the ending, because I can see here, Kyrie eleison. That was a very English way of saying it, which I do recognize from my choir years, because that's a pretty common phrase to be singing there. But all right, so this moves it forward, this resets it, and I think this maybe goes to the ending, or maybe like an ending phrase thing, but one or the other. Let's just reset this and we'll move alongside here and play. I dare to push the volume here a bit more. Wow. Okay. I can see from my DAW that it's not my chip. Yeah, I think that's coming somewhere from within the engine here. I'd hate to say that if it is my system, so that's not 100%. As far as I can tell, not the limiter, not my CPU, nothing. But yeah, I do remember we encountered something similar before, so maybe it is like a issue in the end of the library. But again, I do apologize if I'm just missing something here, which is entirely possible because I'm not the smartest guy around the block here. But let's try and keep going with this. You have to be careful that you actually trigger the next phrase you want to be using before the transition, because that can either, let's say it happens in between one of these node transitions, so that can mess you up. So you got to be very specific about that. So what I would do in a DAW sense, or in that world, I would actually program these first, and then I could just focus on the playing. But if you're more big-brained than I am and more dexterous, you can obviously control it the way you want. Okay, we have our answer. This middle key goes backwards, so there you go. That's very interesting. That's actually pretty, I'd say, probably cool and useful in cases where you have very long phrase building stuff going, and where you realize you can go back, and then, because that way you can obviously build a longer phrase thing. Obviously you can do it in sections as well, but that's yeah, I mean, why not? That's an interesting option to have in there. Okay, I did get a performance clip there on my CPU, but I think it was happening before in the engine and then on my system. So I would be suspecting it's the library here, but again, something to look into. I could be entirely ignorant and it could be my fault, but yeah. But the point is, I love this builder. You can really sculpt the kind of phrases specifically that you want to go for. There's a tremendous amount of flexibility here. So you just choose the step, and then you can select from the menu here, and you can actually, okay, this looks like stuff that I don't want to mess with. Something is Keyswitch related, but yeah, you can just choose your phrase here. That's really cool. Very nice to have. Sounds to me pretty similar to what it was before, but I'm sure they've done something there. All right, we got vocal phrases. I know I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because, first of all, I mean, just look at the scope of this. This is the menu selection. So this alone changes the set of phrases that you have here. I don't know if it changes them entirely, but I think so. Maybe some of them overlap or mix to different sets, but I don't think they do. But yeah, I mean, keys go from C minor, D minor, E minor. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scope here. Just to play a few, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's do something in... Let's just do G minor, 120 BPM. You get the idea. A lot of scope, a lot of stuff here. Then you can go, let's just do something from C minor. So you get the idea. These are stunning. They sound absolutely beautiful, beautifully tracked, very creative, very atmospheric. These are great. Like, even if you don't, even if you use these kind of legato playing things for the most part, sometimes you want something specific, something special, like at the end of a phrase, or something in between, or something in the beginning, or some atmospheric stuff. These phrases can be fantastic because they're obviously hyper realistic, because they're simply sampled. You know, they're actual performances. So these can be really good when you're missing something from those kind of main legato parts, and you want a bit of color, you want a bit of richness and texture and something more specific. So again, like I said before, there's just so much stuff in here. every single one I've ever played from these are just beautifully tracked and sampled. And so yeah, you got that there, which is a lot of reverse vocal phrases. I think it's the same content, but just in reverse. We're not going to go into that because this demo is otherwise going to be hyper long. I think they're the same ones, just in reverse, but it could be new content. Again, someone else is going to have to tell you that, so I don't make any official statements on that. Atlantis Syllables 100 Keyswitch. Well, so let's check this out. Very, very, very cool. All right, so I'm guessing what happens here is with the Keyswitch. So yeah, I'm guessing these are key switches here, which are changing the syllable. Yeah, so that's what it seems to be doing. I wish it showed into what syllable it's transitioning into. But I think this might be made to be kind of like a simpler, faster version of the syllable builder there, or the syllable builder. But I mean, in terms of why, you know, we could show here in the middle what syllable it is using. So that would be a very fast way of, okay, remembering the key switches that you wanted to use, just seeing the syllable instead of just having to hear it. But I actually like this layout a lot. This is super cool. And in terms of, I mean, this is so beautiful sounding, the texture here. But yeah, you get the idea. I mean, again, very, very beautiful. Okay, Elven True Legato. I think this has a new visual. Very nice green color. I don't know why I said that. Nobody gives a damn, but it is very, very, very beautiful looking. This one was in there before, I think. So let's check it out. This one is the Elven Legato. Let's come down a bit with the limiter. It's a bit intensive. beautiful voice. So this apparently is, okay, Giulia Colantonia? Giulia? I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Yeah, beautiful voice. So that's the ah. Here you got only 2 options, so you got a ooh, there's a song about that, I think, but yeah. The range is pretty interesting if you look at the area here down in the key bed. It's kind of like, obviously this is much like determined by the singer and their range, and obviously they want to make the range like consistent and playable and make the texture consistent, etc. But yeah, I mean, I just wish it had that G sharp there as well, because I tend to work in that key a lot, but it is what it is. Obviously you can pitch down the last A as well, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting range. But to be, you know, to be fair, that can also inspire you to write new things, because I would write for this voice specifically. I would pull this up and kind of test it out and then find interesting things that I want to do with that voice and listen to the texture, etc. So that's not even like, it's not even a criticism, because it's just based on, like, you wouldn't ask a certain instrument like to have range that it doesn't, especially if you're trying to do something texturally. So it's just like an observation. But let's play the oohs. On that one note, sounded like there was a bit of noise or maybe distortion there. But I don't know. Let's see if we bump into that. Again, beautiful, beautiful sound. Yeah, there's like a bit of, it sounds to me like noise. It could be kind of like textural reverberation, but I think I can identify that it sounds like a bit of like noise or saturation or some kind of maybe recording noise there. So you don't hear it there, you only hear it on the transition there. There's definitely like a lot of air in the voice, so it's not that what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're in the middle before that last note began to sustain. There's a bit of like, sounds like some kind of cable noise or something like that. But that is the limiter. Okay, we're gonna pull this down way back. It's really like a lot of the differences in level and resonance is very big in vocals. So it's not like the library is doing what it's supposed to be doing, but these are the kind of things you should iron out in a mix phase using something like Soothe 2 or something like that to control the build-ups. But in terms of the library trying to be as realistic as possible, it's good that we get those genuine differences in level and resonances. Still the limiter, we gotta take a dB down. That's my shitty playing. I love that tiny detail here. I don't remember either the B or the C sharp. That bit of like the voice kind of breaks, that kind of, yeah, breaks there in between. That's a beautiful touch. I really like that texture. Limiter, we still gotta take a dB off. That kind of did the same noise thing as before, but I think that's a sample. Like that's like a breath sample. Comes in pretty hot there for me. There, you hear like a. It's a bit too loud. It's very appropriate for the transition, but it's a bit loud. I just want to start writing music with this. Like these aren't only great sample libraries. They're not only great, like sampled tremendously and put together, and they play beautifully, but most importantly, from a composer standpoint, they are absolutely and utterly inspiring and just musical. I mean, the whole thing is just makes me want to just write music, and that's, you know, from my standpoint, the most important thing. All right, you got Elven vocal phrases. Again, not going to spend a lot of time on this. Open the menu here. You see the selection of different phrase menus. You got D sharp minor to A minor. A lot of stuff here. Let's do G minor. This is 91 BPM. So yeah, I mean, even just into this one menu, big scope, a lot of, I really actually like this really sharp, focused line. That's a very unique and powerful texture and sound. That's really cool. So let's do something from, let's do A minor 120. So yeah, super beautiful, powerful. Also, I noticed that these sound super loud, but they're not actually taking up a lot of space in a mixing sense, in terms of like full scale dB. So really well sung, tracked, mixed. That's a very, very good thing to have from a mixing engineer's perspective. Elven Sustains. These have the number 90 following it, so I'm guessing they're done with that BPM in mind, maybe, probably. So let's check this out. So again, these are super quiet, so let me push the level. So yeah, beautiful. Gotta play with the Keyswitch to get the texture you want. I'm getting a call, so I gotta take it. Sorry about that. So, next up, Valhalla True Legato. Let's see what this sounds like. It is definitely too loud here, so let's pull down the level. Okay, again, let me pull down the limiter because it's gonna blow soon. Yeah, powerful vocal. What I love about Clara's voice is she can really like cannon the heck out of of her voice in the top range, but also like the lows are very dark and texturally rich. That's super nice. This is going to be really great, this patch, when it comes to powerful epic vocal stuff. I want to play that just a bit more. That's my shitty playing. Yeah, really cool. In this menu here, you have Valhalla Voxel A. I have no idea what these are. So, just something, I have no idea what these do. I think they changed the initial, like, start sample of the line. I think that's what it does. Could be wrong about that, but again, someone can correct me. And, you know, it's a really easy, quick way of changing those. So if you're doing, let's say, this Valhalla Legato, and you want to have a certain start for the sample, you can just key switch it up here, choose the one you want to go with. So that's actually a really, really cool, convenient way of doing it. I think Valhalla Legato was in the previous one as well. So we got Polyphonic Chants here. Let's quickly look at those. It's a very interesting soundscape there, kind of more distant, something like with the positioning is, it's not like obviously contextual whether it's appropriate or not, but and also like a thinner sound here. And some of these are clearly pitched, which is the first time I actually hear this in the library. And you've got the key switches here as well. So there's that. Then you got Polyphonic Chants Builder, which this is probably what I would go for in most cases. Again, new artwork. I love how they put the details into these because they all look different. So yeah, same thing, the phrase builder here. I'm not going to go into that further because, I mean, we got to finish this at some point. Then you got whispers. I think these ones were in the previous one as well. So that's pretty much what things sound like inside my head. But yeah, these are really cool for rhythmic stuff. You have like a action sequence or whatever you want to go for. Throw those in, a bit of texture, a bit of like that vocal presence. That's super cool to use. Yeah, actually going back to hearing the clipping or the kind of the chip clipping, the noise we heard from before, I think it must be like something the engine is doing is kind of overwhelming the CPU. It has to do some kind of calculation it can do, and then it blows the chip, because I did see that peak on the chip. So, and since the noise does sound like kind of a CPU issue, my guess would be that that's happening. So maybe there's something that can be done in the optimization or the balancing or whatever in the library that it doesn't do that, because that seems exceptional, or something that shouldn't be happening based on the normal performance of this. This isn't like a super heavy library in that way. But sometimes when you do play with a lot of samples and you also have a lot of effects going, and this does have quite a bit. If you go to the effects rack here, it can have quite a few things going on. So sometimes when that's not perfectly balanced out, you can get some of those performance issues happening. But next up, Atena Sustains. So not sure if this is new. Could be. Kind of on the fence. I don't remember. So let's check it out. I don't think this is new because I think I remember this, and this was one of my favorites. Listen to that texture and that sound. That's super sweet. Let's push the volume on this. Let's make this super loud for you, because it can be. It's one of those, like, sometimes when sounds are really nicely done, they sound super thick and luscious and loud, but they really take up very little space in the mix. So this seems like one of those. limiter. Let's pull that down a bit. I mean, I'm speechless here because this is just so beautiful sounding to me. Again, there's something about the conditions, because it says sustains, but it's kind of playing a phrase, which is playing from beginning to end, and some of the conditions, sometimes it does continue to the note, but sometimes it ends. So I'm just not familiar with those conditions. I'm sure you can make it do what you want if you knew what those were, but I don't know. But this is just so, like, I remember this from the last demo, so this was in there. I was just blown away by this. It's just the beauty of it is just so stunning. Like, I could do this all day. Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't a super tough alpha male, I would be crying right now. But I'm not, I mean, I am. So I'm not going to do that. But I mean, that is just so cool. I mean, what the thing about this, let me load something here just for the visuals. That sounded wrong, but just to have something loaded up there. That's what I meant. Yeah, what I like about that previous one as well, I like the fact that it sounds slightly synthetic and slightly like, I guess synthetic would be the word, but that brings a very specific texture and thing in there. I know a lot of people out of the gate wouldn't be using it for that because they want something super realistic, etc. But like the way it kind of like moves in a synthetic way, and then it kind of seems sort of modular and blocky in a way. I really love that texture and that sound. Definitely want to do something with that. But yeah, you got vocal phrases here. Again, let's just look at the menu. A lot of keys, a lot of stuff to choose from. We're just going to do one. Let's do F minor. Cool. Yeah, you get the idea. Beautiful, a lot of scope. What can I say? Dark vocal phrases. We did these last time. Again, let's just play a couple. So again, colored differently, different effects. In terms of darkness, yeah, definitely more reverb. Some of those, I mean, we don't have time to go through all the phrases, but obviously a lot of the darkness comes from the actual phrases themselves as well, but that sounded dark enough for me. But regardless, a different set of things there. Again, okay, we've got Ethereal Pads. I think these were very nice from what I remember. But again, as you look at this, you got 25 different pads here. So let's try number 1 here. So a very beautiful, very like a deep understanding of how the samples meet the effects, because I'm sure if you took everything out here, it wouldn't be super like realistic or very kind of legato-ish, but beautiful use of samples meeting effects. Let's do a couple of more. Okay, that's very loud. Let's pull that down. It's kind of interesting. There's stuff happening there underneath the hood. Vocal pad 7. Sounds like a delay is catching some kind of a clip in there. It doesn't sound like it's the delay itself, I don't think. So maybe like a sample start or something, but it sounds like it's grabbing onto kind of a clip somewhere and it's repeating that. Could be the effect itself as well, but I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, something is happening in the transition, and then I think the delay kind of exposes that slight clip there. But again, could be like a very fast CPU clip there, if the effects are super intensive. But yeah, I mean, again, these are super nice, and you get a very big selection of those just in this one. We're not going to do dark reverse phrase. Let's do heroic true legato. Again, not sure if this was in the previous one, but I'll probably tell as soon as we get in there. That's an incredible performance. Just making it so powerful. First of all, the range, making it that powerful and big. That's super impressive. Don't remember if this was in there. This probably still was. I mean, I don't know. This is the O. Just stellar vocal performance, and that's so playable. These really do feel more playable to me than even before, and I wasn't complaining before, so... Okay, this one is the E, or Okay, so that transition must be missing. I can't blame them if it is. It's just, I mean, it's just rock solid and super realistic and super playable and so punchy and big and that is very, very, very commendable. Okay, Fantasy True Legato. Again, I shouldn't comment anymore whether this was in there or not because I can't remember, but so this is Laura Ausensi. This sounds like a familiar name, so I think she was doing some stuff here for the previous libraries as well. Very interesting voice. Like you get this kind of like a darker textural tone here. Then you get this kind of like some of the similar kind of sharpness that was in the Elven stuff there. Then a bit of like operatic, maybe that's not a fair term, but like a more vibrant performance here. So this is a really unique selection of like a very unique voice there. So okay, you get only this one here, but let me play a bit more of this because it's such a unique tone and texture. Like there you get a lot more of that vibrato coming in. It's a very, very unique combination of texture and tone that in that voice, or at least how it's sampled and put together here. So Firenze True Legato. I think that was a new one. This, okay, with relative confidence, this is a new one because I don't remember hearing or reading Firenze there in the previous demo. So True Legato Firenze. Let's push the level here. Or maybe not, it gets pretty loud here, apparently. Let's actually pull it back. So the low end is significantly more quiet. Okay, gets operatic there. Again, limiter clipping, so I'm going to pull down 1 dB more. Interesting softness here, and it builds up very, very nicely to the top. So this could be like very beautiful and perfect for certain type of vocal parts. That is the limiter. We're going to pull it all the way down and even pull down contact a bit. So that's cool to have in it. This is definitely a new texture, new thing in the arsenal here. Very nice to have. That's going to be really cool for the part that needs it. Dark Siren, true legato. Okay, the range is very, very slim here, so let's see what that is like. Okay, that's a really cool addition to have in there. I suspect the portamento, or the transition from note to note, is done by the engine here. So the legato is set to 300 milliseconds. So let's see if that actually controls that slide. Yes, it does indeed. I don't seem to be able to... I don't know what's happening here with the interface. It's kind of like jagging back and forth. Yeah, that's really nice. Really cool thing to have there in the toolkit. Next up, Roma. Roma. Kind of a softer, more controlled, less, aggressive sound. Has like a good fundamental power to it, but it's not like, like the hero thing. So this is really good to have like different scopes, different textures here. That's super nice. So yeah, this one is only this one legato sound. Then we have Venezia. I don't know how you pronounce that, but so that's very cool. Very, very little vibrato there. Very, I'm struggling to find words at this hour for me, but yeah, very, very solid, minimal movement. Very nice, and a tad of that texture in there, which is kind of like hazy on the top, very solid core voice. That's super useful to have as well. I mean, the scope of this just keeps expanding bigger and bigger, which is already very big, so that's kind of insane. But so this one is Syllables True Legato. I wonder what it is. So I'm a bit confused here. I don't know what these yellow notes represent here. Because they seem to actually be just notes. Then we can't choose anything from this menu, and there is no syllable based thing or no key switches as far as I can see. There could be something beyond this range, but I can't see anything. So not sure what is up here. It says 28 syllables true legato, but I don't know how to trigger them. Please educate me. Next up, Valkyrie vocal phrase. I think these ones were in there last time, maybe, or yeah. So you get the idea, powerful phrases. Again, we have menu drop down here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 different keys, 8 different sets of phrases, and you got all these keys to choose from there. So yeah, pretty expansive. Aurora vocal phrases. I think this is new. I think Valkyrie was there before. Okay, these are really cool. I love this as an addition. This reminds me of some of the vocal work Howard Shore uses in Lord of the Rings. My pronunciation skills are beginning to lag behind here. So, C minor, D minor, E minor, G minor, and A minor. That's your selection of things. These are really nice. I mean, I love this texture. This is definitely going to go down somewhere as a fan of that that tone. Okay, this one is called Hybrid Vocals, and this one had a bit of a process in installing the presets. Wasn't super convoluted, but still additional steps to sort out. But seems like I managed to do that. So again, the scope of this pretty ridiculous because I mean, you go here and you got all these folders with all these different presets. So I mean, but let's see what this is about. Let's do. I don't like to be told what key to use, so I'm going to be a rebel here and skip those. Let's do evolving big texture. Okay, that's super impressive. Maybe a bit too much air in there, but that's easy enough to roll out of there with some EQ. This really reminds me of like it's like a cousin to some of the heaviosity stuff, but seems to be doing like a similar kind of thing. Evocative pad. Okay, so there we did get a CPU clip, so that must be coming from all the processing going on here. So I think my buffer size is set to 256 samples, so that's still, you know, playable, but gives enough room for the library to do its thing. I usually like to test in that zone unless I'm using something that really needs a half of that as a buffer size, like drums or something. So, you know, usually pretty good way to tell how heavy something is in terms of the load. But this is super impressive. Like, this is like, in addition to all the fantastic vocal legatos and all the other fantastic vocal stuff that's in here, you get this on top of that. And to be fair, you could take this library alone, this section of the library, only this, what's it called, hybrid vocals alone, and sell this as a library. You could do that, and many companies would, and I probably wouldn't even mind. But I mean, this could be a library of its own. So just the value you get with the Ethera lineup is just bonkers. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was Atlantis 2, but like I had gone through most of the vocals, and then just stuff kept like piling up, and it was all still great stuff. So just the content here is just absolutely massive. Beautiful. Yeah. Key and vocal. I wonder what this is. Piano vocal. Let's check that out. Yeah, I mean, this is in here. Like, first of all, very surprised by how good this sounds like. Not based on, like, they're obviously tremendous at sampling and building these libraries and sound designing and everything, but like, you'd think this would be like more like an add-on, and therefore the standard wouldn't be so high for it. But this sounds fantastic. The piano is super playable, obviously not super like comprehensive in terms of the dynamics, but it responds really nicely, very proportionally, I would say, beautiful sound design, beautiful soundscape. I do hear a bit too much of a transient click there in the beginning for the pianos, but that's tweakable. You can either adjust the sample start, or there's a bunch of ways of doing it. But yeah, I mean, this soundscape is just beautiful, which really showcases their productional abilities and just the sound designing abilities here. Yeah, I gotta move on because that's very playable, very emotional, very inspiring. I would just be playing that all day, so let's not do that. Let me actually... Yeah, just wanted to check whether the interface is actually updating here. So it is, which is good. Okay, very interesting. I mean, there's just so much here. What is Tokyo key? Super nice sound, very tactile. Yeah, again, I mean, they could just pull this out of here and say it's its own product. And yeah, we did something based on the Ethera vocal samples, did this hybrid engine kind of thing. They could easily sell this. But I mean, it's in here included. So, I mean, the offering is here. It's just like bonkers. Gating and modulation, let's do one, just soft. Beautiful sound design, very well mixed and put together. Vocal drone, I love drones, so we gotta do at least one of those. It's kind of interesting, not super droney in the sense that it doesn't stay in the same zone, but that's interesting to have there. Soft sustains. I mean, I love myself some soft sustain. So beautiful, and it's just so well put together how they take these phrases and they script it, put it together. I don't know what the hell they do, but I mean, it's just it's so, and the sensibility how they put it together with the effects and everything is just so mature and so sensibly done, and most importantly, like musical, inspiring. So yeah, I mean, That's cool. Oh, I did close this, but maybe let's do one sequence here. Let's do ARP4 because that's a good number. So it seems like you kind of had to be sensible in terms of like listening to the phrase and then knowing how you can actually put the harmony together there. But this is really cool. Like, again, reminds me of some of the heaviosity stuff in nature, which is high praise because they're absolutely masters at what they do there when it comes to this kind of hybrid stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the scope of this is pretty bonkers and very nice. So this one is called Ethnic Colors Vocal Phrases. So again, being a phrase, we're not super deeply going to dive into this, but again, you have all these keys, you have all these different sets of phrases. Let's play a few of them. So kind of a different set of things. I'm guessing they're kind of mixing what parts of the world these are coming from. Sounds like a bit of a mix. But yeah, super nice. Again, beautiful voice. Very powerful, very full sounding there as well. We have something called Syllables Poly. So let's do that. Beautiful texture, beautiful tone. So you got a builder page here doing the same thing. I wonder if this was auto moving forward. Oh, I see. Okay, so here's the thing that I didn't remember from last time, and this is actually super cool as a functionality. So pressing the sustain pedal does this, and this is actually, I'd say, brilliant, because you want to sustain the notes when you're playing them, but you also want to be transitioning into the next phrase. So this is yeah, I now remember that I did this realization last time as well, but super cool functionality. I gotta choose a different key here. Very nice. Yeah. Don't know what the poly means here. That's presumably the difference compared to the other ones. But Elven Poly Chants. If I remember, this is maybe new, but can't remember. Let's push the volume on this because this is a lot quieter. There's a lot of fluctuation here in terms of the level. Okay, so that happens again, and this happens in the builder. So to me that sounds like my CPU is crapping the heck out. I couldn't see a spike here on the meter. Doesn't mean it didn't necessarily happen there, but something's going on with the builder here. Cool. So that's it. Then you also have a key switch option here for the same thing. But that's it. We did it. We got through everything. Once again, slugging through this for a long time, but we did it. I mean, yeah, I'm a broken record when it comes to the Ethera lineup here, but so for like right off the bat, in terms of the new stuff, we had a few of those new Legato things that I recognized, and then I don't know what they've done to some of the older material, fine-tuned it. I don't know if they sampled new stuff or not, or just like refined the programming, etc. But definitely on some of those Legato patches, I did notice increased realism and playability, which again is a lot said because it was already really good to begin with. So that's super nice. But yeah, I mean, again, I feel like based on everything that I've heard and seen out there, the Ethera lineup is really up there when it comes to like solo legato vocal stuff, and a lot of like I love a lot of those phrase syllable based things as well. They just work so well nicely, and if you are working a vocal part where you have these repetitive phrases that you want to use and kind of make that sound, make that kind of a rhythmic textural thing, then I mean those just work stunningly well to me. In terms of comparison to the Atlantis 2 stuff, I mean we would have to do like an A/B thing to really tell, but again, from what I gathered with some of the legatos, they just felt better to me. And also I heard the transitions sounding just that tiny bit more realistic, and it's just such a such a enjoyable thing to play with. Let me just open this quickly so I make sure that I don't miss anything in terms of what I want to touch on here as we wrap up. But yeah, I think it's pretty crazy that they just keep on adding more voices here. It's just becoming a ridiculously comprehensive set of legato voices. It's just stunning. I mean, and that times 5 could be said about the phrases, because there's just so much of them in here, which can be tremendous when you're looking for that extra bit of spice or bit of inspiration or atmospheric stuff or something textural. So phrase is great. Yeah, and also this hybrid vocal engine, just to have that in there as kind of like a added extra is again very crazy to me, because that could be its own product. Very mature, very atmospheric, super great sounding. So I mean, again, it's a tremendous offering. I'm sure there's some kind of intro pricing going on here right now, and I think if you have a previous version, certainly Atlantis 2, I'm not sure which products qualify for like a what kind of an upgrade price, but if I saw correctly, I did see for at least owners of Atlantis 2, I think it was maybe $50 the upgrade price, which was super sweet to see. But yeah, this is, if you happen to be watching this now, there is an intro pricing. In terms of what it is, go to the website, check it out, and remember to log in and check out your upgrade price, because if you have something from before, from the Ethera lineup, you might have some kind of a special path there. So yeah, I mean, still top of the game. Just really happy to see them iron out some of the things and just adding content, having more of these legato voices, that hybrid engine. And I mean, those syllable phrase things in there, they touch a very special spot in me. That sounds wrong, but they just really have a very special place in my heart. I could just play those forever. In terms of some of the stuff we bumped into, obviously that thing that sounded like my CPU is clipping could be like I don't know what's happening there. To me, it sounds like it's that thing. And then with some of the we did hear a couple of noises here and there, and also some of the transient stuff with more, with the transient type instruments like the piano. But I imagine there's a crap ton of samples to go through here, so some of that noise stuff is gonna leak through. We'll still want to fix it, because that makes this rounds up all the stuff and makes this pretty much perfect. But yeah, but also I want to figure out what's going on with the Syllable Builder engine, because I think that it's there where we had that CPU clipping, crapping out kind of thing. And I think it happened consistently in the Syllable Builder. So that's something worth looking into. Again, don't know if that's something I only experience on my system, my DAW, my operating system, etc. I am running an older OS here as well, so don't know if that plays into it. But yeah, I mean, just kind of a very much no-brainer in my book. If you're looking for solo legato voices, something that's very playable, then you also get all those textures and phrases and those builders, and then you have these pads and this this hybrid engine and these phrases. So it's a very comprehensive, stellar offering that way. So if you're in the need of any of those things, this is, as far as I know, the thing to have and check out. So that's it for this video. It was a big long haul, but we made it. Let me know what you think down in the comments, either regarding this video or if you have this yourself and you would like to share what you think. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for this video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Finished.